And welcome back, guys. It's Maverick here today with another episode of Shikimori-san. So, we had a hiatus last episode. This is really due to the production studio having some manpower issues due to the coronavirus and all that. But I do believe that is going to be the last delay of the season. The remaining 4 episodes should be smooth sailing from here. Fingers crossed for that. But yeah, anyways, it was at least a pretty good time to cut it if they wanted to do something like that, because last episode we kind of like completed the sort of cultural festival arc, I guess you could say, even though not that much stuff happened, compared to like one like a few animes over, like what Kaguya-sama is doing with their cultural festival. But all things considered, I really enjoyed this particular arc here, and the entire like sorta kinda hidden love, that kind of scenario, even though to me it wasn't really ended satisfactory, neither in how the hidden love was resolved, nor in terms of Izumi's and Shikimori's relationship, which, while stable, I still want to see some sparks there, right? I still want to see some hugging, kissing, anything to let me see that they are actually a couple, even though they are. But, I digress. Anyways, that is it for that. Here, remaining 4 episodes, I'm assuming we're going to have some new story arcs and whatnot. So, let's just jump right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. So? Alright. We got jealous Shikimori again. Yeah. The funny thing about all of this is that Shikimori, like, even though here Shikimori is obviously like always being so defensive, right? Even against Inuzuka as well. But in reality, like, Shikimori's voice actress, the one that voices her, Onishisaori, she's like a huge BL fan. she's basically a fujoshi. So when it's kind of funny because she actually went on, I think it was Seiyuto Yoasobi, right, which is a program on Ebima, and that program was actually hosted by the voice actor for Inu-san, and they were discussing about, like, the sort of Izumi and Inuzuka pairing there. And, which one's the top, which one's the bottom. So, anyways, that's like completely unrelated to anything here, and no, none of that actually happens here. But still, all things considered, I just find it really funny that, even though like the Shikimori here is being very flustered about this entire situation, her voice actress is like a completely, waku waku excited over all this. No, that's just because you and Izumi are quite close. What the heck? I mean, basically, she's just jealous that she can't have such a close relationship. But like, some of that is your guys' own fault. See, that's what I've been talking about for the past few episodes. Like, I don't really feel they have this relationship of a boyfriend girlfriend, even though they have already been dating for a year now. Why is Neko being so? Please go with them. Okay. Nisa? Okay. You know, the funny thing is, like, a lot of people were like freaking out all of this and saying, "Oh no, is there gonna be like a triangle relationship and all that, or is there gonna be like an NTR scenario?" Like, come on, guys, grow up. Like, I mean, this is just obviously. Hmm? Is that Hachimitsu? Yeah, and her older brother is quite the ikemen, actually. I don't really think they look similar though. I honestly don't think they are that similar though, but alright. Oh, you are gonna get it, Inu. So we don't even get the ending of that with them. Oh, Izumi and Hachimitsu are both cold? Okay. Is there like a flu going around? Holy shit, he was out like for a few days? Well, yeah, look at her. Yeah, only. Okay, they're going to act like they don't know each other. Not bad. Oh, does she have a crush on her? Or I guess it's just like, she's sort of like the cool type of character as well, right? The cool athletic type. So I'm pretty sure that she sort of idolizes Kamiya. Mm. Oh, alone time. Wow. Shikimori is just like the perfect girl, isn't she? uh, this girl. She goes around slaying hearts without her even knowing about it. By the way, where's Neko's? No. Mhm. So I guess they're both on the volleyball volleyball team, eh? Now they're gonna play basketball? Garus? So now they're gonna like play a 3-on-3? They're missing. Oh, I bet it's gonna be like Kamiya and Shikimori partnered together, right? These two. Okay. We're playing in their skirts as well, really? Alright. Oh, dang. That was like an actual form shot. Even a lot of like girls basketball in high school, you still see them making like 3-point shots, like with both hands or whatnot. Oh, steal! Nice pass. Oh, nice. Wait, are they actually implying she dunked it? All right. That's a nice shot there. Honestly, I feel like the stills in this anime look really, really good, all things considered. I mean, I guess this is part of her letting it go, isn't it? Yeah, in a way, yes. Because she willingly withdrew from the situation. I don't like, again, all things considered, there's not really too much she could do anyways. Not when, right? If she wanted to do anything, she had to do it before a culture festival last year. Alright, so is Kamiya gonna be like a recurring character here? I would not hate that. I actually like her character a lot. Are you gonna ask about Shikimori? Oh. Okay. Yeah, she actually... Nekazaki's like a lot more observant than you would know, right? I'm not... Okay, so... I guess there is... Hmm. So, I think what's being implied here is not that she doesn't trust her, necessarily, but like she'll only reveal it once she doesn't feel hurt anymore? Mm, yeah, something like that. I feel like Nekozaki, to a certain extent, probably guessed it. I mean, I have to say that all the people around Izumi are definitely going to be like good people, right? So, anywho, see you guys after this. Alright guys, well, kind of a random episode, all things considered, with the sudden, like, basketball game and all that, but hey, it actually, there were some interesting things being said here. Like first of all, let's talk a little bit about the Kamiya situation, right? Because I'm glad that they actually brought her back and didn't just end the story as it did last episode. Like I said, I really wasn't satisfied with that kind of ending there. I feel like there were still some things left unsaid. There were still some feelings that were not yet unraveled, and I don't really feel like there was an end to that entire situation, where I don't think any closure was there quite yet. So the fact that they brought her back and shows her interacting with not only Shikimori but also Neko as well, I liked it. I liked it, and especially with the ending here. What was implied here. We can clearly see that Kamiya is still hurting over all of this, right? This makes it much more realistic. It's just so. It would have been so unrealistic and too idealistic in a way if after last episode and say, okay, I'll treasure these feelings, go ahead, Shikimori, and then that was just like the end of that, right? I definitely feel like something like this makes much more sense where the feelings are still there. She's sort of like buried it, stifled it for now, but she definitely still feels it, right? And it's definitely not something that she's open to talking about yet, that kind of wound and so on and so forth. And to have this kind of I wouldn't say this is closure, but I feel like this to me is a lot better than anything than what we saw in the last episode, where nothing like there was no next step or anything, right? Whereas here, we can clearly define, okay, yeah, she's kind of accepted the situation on the surface level. She's not quite accepted the situation, internally, and she's still hurting over it. But we know, like, also through the words of Neko, that she needs to one day find a way to be able to express these feelings properly. Once she's able to say it out loud, even to people other than Shikimori, I feel like that really signifies that she's let it go and she's ready to move on, right? So I do love that here. I feel it is it's a good setting, all things considered, and I mean, I'm just glad that we can see more of Kamiya's character here, getting to know more about her as well. And hey, also all the other surrounding cast beyond just Shikimori and Izumi here, because I feel like that's also kind of important, even though Neko did still sort of like take a backseat here. But all things considered, we learn a little bit more about her as well, right? After all, she was the one who reached out to Shikimori and befriended her, right? Although I'm sure that Shikimori probably doesn't really have any problems actually making a friend, question mark. Who knows, right? Like, maybe this is going to be part of Shikimori's backstory and whatnot, and part of what Izumi attracted her to Izumi and so on and so forth. But we know that we know that Neko is this type of really caring and just kind of like I wouldn't really say older sister character, but she has that kind of vibe, right? Like, she's just friends with everybody. She wants everybody to get along and all that. And as we can clearly see here, she's very observant as well. So some good stuff going in her favor. So good on that. And then beyond that, though, obviously we have the first little like mini episode here or mini chapter here, which is talking a little bit more about Inuzuka and his relationship with Shikimori and all that. And like I said before, this actually was a point of controversy for a lot of people before I did not read the original manga, right? But when the adaptation was announced and I was looking through some of the comments, there was actually a lot of people kind of sort of saying that, there was this part here which I didn't really feel comfortable with, which is the entire situation of Shikimori mistaking Inu as her brother, and some of the more, I guess, implied feelings that went into it, and so on and so forth. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous, right? Now, first of all, I don't really quite see how Inu is in any way, shape, or form like Shikimori's brother. To me, those are like two entirely different types of people. But beyond that, though, like, this is, to me, beyond that sort of like brother sort of projection or whatnot, like Hachimitsu was saying, I thought that the entire situation between them is quite simple, right? Shikimori is a possessive girlfriend. That's to be expected. And the fact is that they Izumi and Inuzuka are closer in certain ways. Like, they're both males, right? And I'm not quite sure like how long they've been friends. I'm assuming that they've known each other for longer than Izumi has known Shikimori, right? So I'm sure that they have a history already going back, and there's just some things that you're more comfortable asking or troubling your guy friends with. It's just like that. And of course it doesn't help matters that, as I've been saying throughout these past episodes, the relationship between Shikimori and Izumi is like kind of weird in a lot of ways, in that they just don't really seem like a couple, okay? They are treating each other with like way too much respect and way too much politeness and whatnot. I mean, in some ways you could say it's idealistic, you know, they're treating each other like so politely and so on and so forth, but on the other hand, it just doesn't really give me that kind of couple vibe. And like they're acting way too reserved around each other, and I feel like that's sort of feeding into Shikimori's insecurities as well. You know, that's my sort of like psychoanalysis, and that's what I've been trying to say for the past few episodes here, right? Like they, you know, the fact that they can't even, you know, even in the situation last episode, they can't even give each other a proper hug or properly kiss each other, even though they've already been supposedly dating for a year now. It's just like, it completely blows my mind, all right? And so, you know, there's just this, they just don't have that level of closeness. That's all I can say. They don't have that level of closeness, and you compound that with Shikimori's more like jealous nature, and you know, it's gonna cause problems, right? It's definitely going to cause problems. So I totally don't see anything strange in the fact that she's sort of like being jealous, or she's sort of like being more on the offensive against Inuzuka and whatnot. And hey, even beyond all that, right? Like that's one part, right? And the other part is, do they actually want to? Does Shikimori actually want to get better in terms of her relationship with Inuzuka? Well, absolutely. I mean, Inuzuka is Izumi's best friend. As Izumi's girlfriend, of course she has this obligation to also have a good relationship with Inuzuka. That's obvious, right? You know, when a girlfriend of one of my bros, you know, is introduced to me, of course that girl would want to be nice to me as well. We want to have a good relationship. In fact, it pays a lot of dividends for the girlfriend to be good friends with her boyfriend's best friends, because you know, there's a lot of things that can happen that you know, that can help, right? Especially if, you know, maybe later on some relationship problems stem up, or some emergencies happen or whatnot. You know, it just pays to have this sort of relationship here. So I totally get this. And I really don't see any way, shape, or form that there is some implied like NTR scenario or whatnot. Like seriously, guys. Probably, I'm not sure like how it is in the West. I know like in a lot of Eastern forums and whatnot that has been debated and talked about, even though I think it's ridiculous. But some people do care about all that. But yeah. Anyways, so I guess that's basically it. You know, not really too much else to add on for this episode. It's just like a nice little in between episode, if you will. In fact, Izumi appeared for all of like what, 2 seconds here? I think he literally had one scene who was just like, oh, Inuzuka, when are you gonna get here and whatnot. We didn't even get to see them to visit him while he was sick, right? So that was also kind of disappointing, all things considered. But I guess, you know, considering like this is not exactly in a flirting, they aren't exactly in still like a flirting situation, right, where their relationship has not been fully confirmed yet. You know, since they have already been confirmed, no, probably like Shikimori has been to Izumi's house. I mean, we know that she's been to Izumi's house before, right? And she's probably been to his room before. She's probably visited him before, and so on and so forth. So maybe, you know, the work is just implying that, hey, nothing really new about this. So, you know, let's just leave it for now and carry on, right? Which I guess is fair. So anyways, that is it for this episode, and I do hope that in the future, like remaining 3 episodes, we will be getting another like multi-episode arc or whatnot. Yeah, and hopefully, you know, it can lead into another situation as the Culture Festival. I feel like, you know, especially considering the storyline and all that surrounding it, I do feel like those were probably my most enjoyable episodes of this series so far. So hopefully we will have another thing like that in the future. And hopefully no delays in the future as well. Anyways, that's it. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.